In Pretoria, good afternoon, Aldrin. Run us through events in Pretoria today.
Well, yes, Francis, so we can tell you right now that the press briefing that was supposed to have started at 12 o'clock earlier on this afternoon has now been called off. Of course, at the time, Kukundima was reading the statement on behalf of the various other members, she says, of the ANC who are not happy with the current leadership of the party. And of course, that meeting was disrupted by the ANC Youth League in Tshwane, and its leadership right now joins me. I'm now joined by the chairperson of the ANC in Tshwane, Lisekho. Thank you so much for joining us. Why did you guys decide to disrupt this media briefing?
Firstly, let us fix this. This is not ANC members who are aggrieved. These are people who are masquerading to be ANC members, agent provocateurs, impersonating leaders of the ANC, lying and saying that they are speaking on behalf of members of the ANC and so forth. The ANC has processes, it has ways and mechanisms on how it deals with its own internal issues. A person cannot be waking up and coming and saying, no, we want to deal with this and that issue. So those people who were here, they are not leaders of the ANC. Kukundima is a book writer, just like Daniel Steele. And therefore, if people want fame, they must go to idols. They cannot come and try to have fame through the structures of the ANC Youth League.
Well, you guys knew about this briefing. You knew that this briefing will be taking place today. You knew about it even from yesterday. Why didn't you approach Kuku as well as the organizers of this briefing before having what some people are calling a true embarrassment for the ANC?
No, well, what was circulating on social media was not the names of Kukundima and some other people that we don't know. It was the name of a foreign national who is very vocal about issues of pertaining to the ANC and not speaking about the problems in his own country. And therefore, we had called him. We tried to find him. We could not find him. But then when we came here, we were surprised to see certain other people. Obviously, he has ran away, did not come here, because he knows that he does not have the mandate to represent anyone. Structures and branches of the ANC right now, they are doing an assessment, analyzing election results and trying to see actually what are the issues and coming with solutions to that particular issue. At that time, structures of the, as I speak to you, there's an ANC PEC Lekotla going through the very same process. So you cannot have anybody mushrooming in the morning and speaking as they please.
Well, you are being accused of crushing dissenting voices. Like, for instance, whether you like it or not, Kuku insists that she is a member of the ANC in good standing. You might say that she's masquerading as a member of the ANC. She says that she's in good standing. And as it stands, she says she represents many other ANC members who are not happy with the leadership of the party. Earlier on, our colleagues from ENCA tried to have an interview with her. You stopped that interview from going ahead. We also tried to convince her to speak to us on TV, but she fears what might happen if she had agreed to do that interview with us, knowing that you tried to stop other interviews.
Well, she's not a member of the ANC. She's masquerading as a member of the African National Congress. Only leaders, according to the Constitution of the African National Congress, are duly authorized to be able to represent the views of the rank and file of the African National Congress. There is no single person who can wake up and say they have authority to speak on behalf of structures and members of the ANC outside the mandate of those structures. Hence, I'm saying to you that structures are deeply immersed in a process of analyzing elections, in a process of analyzing the challenges that are facing the organizations. And those people who are duly authorized to be able to speak on these things, they will come and call a press briefing. They will be able to reflect. We are also part of the branches of the ANC. We are leading structures of the ANC. We are actually engaged, deeply engaged in a process of dealing with whatever is confronting us. We are trying to see what are the issues, what is it that the electorate is saying to us, how must we actually be able to rise above these things. But I can tell you that here you are dealing with counter-revolution, masquerading to be ANC members, claiming to be representing the views and aspirations of disgruntled, so-called ostracized, so-called people who have been put on the side, and so forth. And therefore, when a person says that they want the entire leadership of the ANC to vacate their position, they are calling on a coup. They are saying they're not marching to Luthuli House. They are saying they are going to occupy Luthuli House. It's something else. If you try to understand, uncode what they are trying to say, they are saying that we want a continuation of what happened in Brazil, where we saw the impeachment of the President Dilma Rousseff. Something is at play. Our concern is the choice of venue. Gugu Ndima is a resident of Johannesburg. She's a so-called member of the ANC, as she claims, in Johannesburg. Why are they coming to Pretoria? This Court Classic Hotel, where it is actually said that that's where those who banned the city and disrupted its proceedings had a meeting here. And that's where our concern is. If ever you are a member in a particular branch in Johannesburg, where I know Gugu Ndima is a book writer because that information is on her book, she should have done that in Johannesburg. She should not wear the regalia of the ANC, maybe as a private citizen. In Johannesburg, Parkstar, who is the chairperson of the ANC, and there's a leadership, Matlatini Pesinzol is the chairperson of the Youth League. They are duly authorized to speak on behalf of structures of the ANC, not anybody else.
Just quickly before I let you go, we've spoken to them, not on camera of course. They're saying that hashtag Occupy Luthuli House, the movement will continue, and on Monday they're making the call on various members of the ANC who are not happy with the current leadership. They're calling on even ordinary citizens to join in on that march that will be happening on Monday. What will the ANC Youth League be doing on Monday when those people will be marching on Luthuli House and trying to occupy Luthuli House?
Well, Monday is ANC Day. It's a day where branches of the ANC, they meet every Monday. They are continuing with what I've informed you. They are continuing engaging on the electoral outcomes and what it means. We will be continuing to do that. Once a person says they are going to occupy your own house, this is what they are saying. We are going to trespass in your own house. That place, there's staff, there's operational staff, there's full-time officials of the ANC, there's the Secretary General, the Deputy Secretary General, the Treasurer General. It means their lives are at risk. And therefore, the ANC must be able to defend itself. When you go around mobilizing society to occupy Luthuli House, is something else. When you write a letter of grievance to say, I'm an aggrieved member, I want to raise this and that issue, and that letter is sent to the structures. If you are an ordinary member, you send it to your branch executive committee, and that branch executive committee, if it feels it will not be able to address it, it then takes it to the REC. If the REC can, it goes to the PC until it arrives to the National Executive Committee. When you call civil society, when you call counter-revolutionary groups, movements and everything else, and you are calling them to occupy Luthuli House, it's a serious call. We take it seriously. We are not taking it lightly. There is something underneath that.
But just in conclusion, should we expect you and the current leadership of the ANC Youth League in the city of Tshwane at Luthuli House on Monday?
I'm not an operational staff of Luthuli House. I'm not an official of the ANC. Our offices are actually a minute away from here. But should the movement require us to actually beef up security because it might be limited, as people are trying to march into that particular house, anytime we will come and listen to what is going to happen. People trying to take over the chairs, everything, the tables, tossing and turning, disrupting the harmony of that office, the work of the organization from continuing. We have done it before. You will remember that the DA tried to march to Luthuli House. You would remember that there were other counter-revolutionary forces that marched to Luthuli House. So what we are saying essentially is that if ever this is genuine, you cannot call order in a disorderly fashion. You must be orderly, and the ANC has an established order in how people are able to raise genuine concerns or grievances.
Okay, then perfect. That is the chairperson of the ANC Youth League here in the city of Tshwane. His name is Lisekgo Makubela, really expressing their concern around the press briefing that was supposed to have been held earlier on, and of course it was disrupted when they said that the one person who was addressing that press briefing at the time Gukundima, accusing her of not being a legitimate member of the ANC. And now, as we've heard as well, that on Monday, when the call is made, as Lisiko puts it, if the call is made from Luthuli House or from the various structures of the ANC, that they should be beefing up security, as some disgruntled members of the ANC as well as members of the society will be occupying Luthuli House. They will definitely adhere to that call and heed that call once that call is indeed made. So we'll have to wait and see what happens on Monday. We've spoken to Gukundima earlier on. Unfortunately, she was too afraid to come on camera because that interview that she was supposed to have been doing with the ENCA earlier on was disrupted. But she's saying that Occupy Luthuli House, the movement will be continuing on Monday, and on Monday they will be outside Luthuli House. It's back to you in studio.